Yeah, so Stanford clearly with a coaching situation that arose the last few weeks, Troy Taylor out of there, and I think it didn't dawn on me until last night, but I was talking about Stanford in passing yesterday and mentioned like whoever their coach can be. Their coach is Frank Reich. Yeah. I'd forgotten about that.
The interim, yeah.
The interim head coach, Frank Reich, former NFL quarterback. So that's who they're rolling with for the time being. Into year 2 in the ACC, and if he wins more than 4 games, he would do something that Troy Taylor and David Shaw haven't done in the last 4 consecutive seasons. They have been 3-9, 3-9, 3-9, 3-9 since COVID. They are a 3-9 program, more so than probably – I can't imagine anybody else out there has had the same record 4 consecutive seasons in a row, much less something just as random as 3-9. But that's what Stanford's had. Prior to that, the COVID year, they went 4-2. Prior to that, they were 4-8. They have not made a bowl game since 2018. So think about that for a second. We're in 2025. I know they get lost out there, and they weren't even like the main target of all of the realignment talk last year. They were just one of the others that just moved. But, yeah, it's been a drought for Stanford in terms of football success. Now they're in year 2 in the ACC. Last year didn't change things because, again, they were just 3-9 like they had been the 3 prior seasons. So what can Frank Reich do, and what is he facing in 2025? This is an on-paper exercise, so this isn't, full-blown predictions and all the like. This is just taking a look at who they're playing. And for Stanford, that all begins on Saturday, August the 23rd, which will lead them into an early bye week because they're starting the season early. Why are they starting the season early? Well, because they're taking that long trip out to Hawaii to take on the Warriors. Are they still the Warriors?
I think they're.
Are they the Rainbow Warriors?
No, I thought they got rid of that, but I can't even recall
Warriors,
now.
yeah.
I normally don't like asking random questions on the show because I get very annoyed by it. But I just that thought crossed my mind. But I don't remember anymore what their name is.
I think it still is.
Regardless, they are on the road at Hawaii on Saturday, August the 23rd, and they will get a break after that because of the trip and the travel. Still Rainbow Warriors?
Still Rainbow.
Okay. Never know the last few years how things change, but still the Rainbow Warriors, so that's cool. So Stanford will meet the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii out at their place on August the 23rd. They get the bye week right after that, and then Saturday, September the 6th, get into the real flow of the schedule here. They will play on the road on the mainland against BYU, on the road in the mainland against BYU. So Stanford, BYU there on Saturday, September the 6th, after a couple of weeks from that Hawaii game. Saturday, September the 13th, they get into some conference play already as they will square off with Boston College right there in week number 3. And then Saturday, September the 20th, it is a road trip to Virginia, not West Virginia, to Virginia. On Saturday, September the 20th. And then Saturday, September the 27th, they are at home for only the second time in their first 5 games as they take on an out-of-conference opponent again. This is like the weirdest ordered schedule as they'll play San Jose State. So Hawaii non-con on the road earlier than most because of the fact that you're traveling and opening up the season that way. Back at home, then back 2 weeks later at BYU. So you don't play your first home game until September 13th. Then you're back on the road again to Virginia. And then that's 2 conference games in a row, and then you're back into the non-conference in week 5. I know that's hard to follow, but it's a weird-ass schedule. If you are looking, are y'all seeing the same thing I'm seeing here?
Well, no, I'm not saying you're jumping around, but, yeah, it's kind of a little bit erratic.
It's very erratic. You've got 2 non-cons, then 2 conferences, then a non-con. You've got the bye week after the first game. You've got 3 road trips in the first 4 games. It's kind of all over the place. So Hawaii on the road, BYU on the road, BC at home, Virginia on the road, San Jose State at home, and then they get a break and then kind of reset. And I would imagine they're probably going to need it after all of that. After going to Hawaii and going to Provo and to Virginia, just all over the map. There is their first bye week after those, or their second, I should say, after those 5 games to start the season.
You know, I could very easily, given what this team is going through right now, see them starting 0-5. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know enough about Hawaii and San Jose State, but I would say that what their roster is going to be like, especially given that the best players on their roster have taken this opportunity to jump in the portal.
And including today, Emmett Mosley, the fifth, wide receiver who had 48 catches for them last year, an ACC all-freshman.
Yeah. Who I'm going to bet dollars to donuts goes to USC, where his brother is going to be next year. So,
or his mom and dad who attended Notre Dame.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Right.
So
we go back to the schedule. But
so like they have that they're going to have to deal with. And like we said before, Stanford can't just go into the portal and pick a wide receiver with relatively good grades and say, you're going to Stanford now, bud. You know, like they can't do that.
Right.
Like they have.
That's exactly right.
It's harder for them because of that. So I would think that this year, and they know this, Andrew Luck is an incredibly smart human being. He knows that whatever positives coming out of this year are probably going to be dumb luck. You know, like they're gonna fall into some things. It's gonna be because they've got guys who work really hard and they figure things out, but they're not gonna be a deep team. So anywhere from 0-5 to 2-3, I can see out of that, but I don't see them beating BYU or either their two conference foes.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. So yeah, high likelihood that through 5 weeks they're probably sitting under 500. But yeah, could be worse, could be better. Maybe they're a surprise team, but they will get that bye week, the second bye week after the San Jose State non-con game at home. Then after that extra breather, which they will probably need after road trips to Hawaii and Provo and Virginia, they will then be back on the road going to Texas as they will take on SMU in Dallas on Saturday, October the 11th. The following week, on October the 18th, it is Florida State at home in Palo Alto. The following week, October the 25th, at Miami. We paying attention to the schedule, boys? Yeah. At SMU, Florida State at home, at Miami, 3 consecutive weeks. Then Saturday, November the 1st, they will welcome in Pitt. Saturday, November the 8th, they keep it going. They travel to North Carolina, and then they get another break, their final break with 2 games remaining. So that second stint, after you've gone to Hawaii and you've gone to Provo and you've gone to Virginia and you've had a couple home games, you get a breather, and then you come back and you're going to Dallas, and then you're hosting FSU, and then you're going to Miami, and then you're hosting Pitt, and then you're going to North Carolina. Like, I can't imagine there's many teams that are traveling as much as they are. It's impossible.
I think the ACC did them a favor here by allowing them to have 2 really good teams in a 3 games period of both SMU and Miami, and give them that opportunity in between.
They
to
gave
play
them a win
Florida
on
State.
October the 18th with Florida State. I mean, that was the
Can't you wait till? Are you excited when we one day can't say that again?
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
Yeah,
Look, if they win,
that's a nice little run right there.
If they win 4 games this year, I'm going to say, yeah, suck it, guys. Yeah. Doubled up those wins.
Yeah.
But no, they should probably lose all 5 of those games, to be honest. Like, they should probably lose all 5 of those. I mean, it's not going to be good. And the other thing is, this is where, like, I know it's just 1 game a week, so for football it's not that big of a deal, but given that they're going Hawaii, home, and a week off, then to Utah, which is not that far, then home, then all the way to Virginia, then home, then all the way to Dallas, then home, then all the way to friggin' Miami.
Yep, that's as far away.
Then home, then North Carolina, then off and home, and then they get to stay home for a little while. I would say that until November 22nd, when they get started back up again, they're really going to be tired of being on planes.
Oh, man. I mean, it's crazy. And so I think if you're pointing at the negatives of the ACC membership and things like that, I don't think that's always the case. Like, I think sometimes the travel can get blown out of proportion. I don't think so with this schedule. A part of it's the non-con as well. Like, you chose to play Hawaii and take that trip. You chose to, make the trips that you are. But
they don't have back-to-back home games until the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing that's hard. So, like, where everybody else in the conference has home games that are at least back-to-back, even though you might have a road-heavy schedule, they go back and forth for the first 11 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
So that's
and cross country. I mean, golly, from
So after that second stint and their second of 3 bye weeks, they'll have the third and final bye week on Saturday, November the 15th, and it's a 2-game draw, I guess, there to close out the season. You will be at home at Stanford Stadium on Saturday, November 22nd. After having traveled all the way to North Carolina, you'll have a couple weeks to get ready for the Cal Golden Bears, some Pac-12 action. And then they close out the season on Saturday, November the 29th at home. So as you just mentioned, like they finally get back-to-back home games for the first time all year. And it's the final 2 games of the year. And it's Cal, and then it is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So that is how they will close things out, is Stanford Notre Dame on Saturday, November 29th at home there in Palo Alto. In Stanford Stadium. So, yeah, there you go. Really weird schedule. A game bye week. 4 games bye week. 5 games bye week. 2 games to close it out. And the 3 bye weeks, obviously, the game traveling to Hawaii made that happen. So, yeah, you're starting off there in Honolulu, and you're ending back at home. But, man, you are taking some trips to Dallas and to Miami and to Charlottesville and to Provo. And
those are some pretty places.
I mean, it'll be cool road trips, no doubt about it. Like, I think the saving grace of it is if you're probably most Stanford people are big money people, but if you're one of those that can afford to travel around, like, this is a great schedule.
How many are they going to have? I don't know. This is not but how they don't really do well selling out their own stadium. So I wonder what kind of a travel party they would have, even though these are some very special places to be able to go. Everybody in the chat, for the most part, says they might win a game or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a 2-10 schedule right now. So
and an interim coach on top of that.
And an interim coach who has made it very clear that he's going to be there for the rest of the year, and that's it. Like, he's there to help out.
Yeah, I said, now, imagine if this was volleyball, because remember we talked about some of the Pac-12 school or the ACC schools, and they said, well, it's volleyball, they'd win because they're really good at volleyball.
Right. If I were Stanford, honestly, I would like when I got to Notre Dame, I would sit down with their president and AD and be like, so this major independence thing.
Yeah, well, how's it going for you?
Tell me how that is, because look, Cal can't do that. Although they do have some money at Cal, but given the fact that they had to get some of UCLA's money, it's not the same. But
it might have been out of spite.
Yeah, it might have been. But Stanford has more money than anyone. I would go to Notre Dame and be like, hey, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if anybody could probably swing it, it would be Stanford. I mean, that's along with Notre Dame.
And look, if I'm Sacramento State right down the road, I might taunt them into doing it.
Although the thing about that is like you're going to have little to absolute zero TV money. Like that has to come in. Like Notre Dame still makes really good TV money. Yeah. Stanford would have nothing without a conference alliance. But yeah, I mean, in theory, like if somebody could do it, you would think it would be them. But I think the lack of
they
any
can just
TV,
go take the Apple deal.
Yeah, I mean, they just take the whole chunk of that bad boy.
Have Apple stream every one of your games or all offset of it. Yeah,
go right for it. So there is the schedule for Stanford. Teams they don't play: Louisville, Duke, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Syracuse. Amongst those, I may be missing a name or two, but that's for the most part the big names that jump off the page at me when I look at their schedule and see who's missing. So you do miss out on, potentially some pretty good teams like Georgia Tech or like a Syracuse or any of the others that I mentioned, but you're getting your fair share. Like you're getting plenty on your plate. You're not catching too much of a break with all of the travel and the teams that are on there. So 3-9 for the 5th consecutive season. I think the thoughts are that streak will probably snap because they might be below that. But 3-9 with that schedule might actually, in an interim head coach, be a good thing if you were able to accomplish that, because I think we all see the schedule and think that would be like the ideal scenario was winning 3 games on this schedule. So, yeah, we'll see if that streak continues or not, but it's going to be tough sledding for the Cardinal in 2025.